My niece looked at me and whispered, "We don't sit with people like you." Laughter followed, sharp and hollow. I just smiled, took my little boy's hand, and quietly walked away. Their laughter stayed behind, brittle and cheap, like glass cracking under pressure. I didn't correct her. I didn't have to. That night, Dad sent a message. "Payment tomorrow, right?" I stared at it for a long moment before replying, "Not my problem." And that's when everything shifted. They didn't realize it yet, but by the next sunrise, their laughter would turn into panic. I used to be the one they leaned on, the so-called backbone of the family. Every crisis, every unpaid bill, every failed plan somehow landed on my shoulders. I thought their dependence was love. It wasn't. When my wife walked out, none of them pretended to care. To them, she was perfect, beautiful, confident, ambitious. They said, "You'll be fine. You always are." But they already knew she wasn't coming back, because she was already with someone else. My own brother. I found out one Sunday, through a picture I wasn't even meant to see, a happy family barbecue posted online. Her hand resting on his shoulder. My son in the frame, smiling. The caption read, "Family always finds its way back together." Family. That word used to mean something. I didn't scream, didn't drown myself in anger or whiskey. I just sat there, watching every past moment fall into place. The dinners, the stolen glances, the excuses. It all made sense now. They hadn't lost me. They'd replaced me. Quietly. And they believed I'd never notice. Revenge didn't arrive with fury. It came with calm understanding. I stopped reacting. I started observing. Dad's text was a reminder. I still paid for everything. Their house, their cars, their parties, even their comfort ran on my money. So I started cutting the strings slowly, silently, precisely. I sold the shares they never knew I owned. Moved the company funds to a private holding. Closed every joint credit line. Then I made one phone call to the bank. By Monday morning, their business loan defaulted. By lunchtime, the construction project my brother managed was frozen. By evening, my niece's school called about overdue fees. And by night, Dad's voice trembled through the phone. "Son, what's going on?" "The accounts." I let him talk. Then I said, quietly, "You replaced me. Now live without me." They still didn't grasp the magnitude of it all. Not yet. Every property they lived in, every signature that built their world, it all belonged to me. They had built their peace on my patience. And I had finally withdrawn it. Then my ex-wife texted, "This isn't you. You're better than this." I almost laughed. This is me, just not the version you could use anymore. When I arrived to pick up my son, they were all there, Dad pacing, my brother sweating, her trying to cry on cue. It was almost theatrical. My niece looked confused, not understanding the tension. I knelt, tied my son's shoelace, and whispered, "Ready to go?" As we turned to leave, my brother spoke up. "You can't just walk away from family." I faced him. "You did that first." The silence that followed was heavier than any shouting match. He took a step forward, but Dad held him back. Even he finally understood. I wasn't bluffing. The next morning, I sent a single message to the family group chat. A screenshot of ownership documents. Their house, their company, their accounts, all under my name. And a single note beneath. Effective immediately. Access terminated. By noon, laughter had turned to chaos. By evening, they were calling lawyers. By night, they were calling me. I didn't answer. Weeks passed before she appeared at my office, uninvited. Tears rehearsed, voice trembling. "I just want to talk." I let her sit. She began with apologies, then explanations, and finally the usual plea. "I never meant to hurt you. It just happened." I nodded. "So did this." I handed her an envelope. Divorce finalized, assets divided, child custody settled. Everything fair, legal, complete. Except for one final detail in the corner. A clause she hadn't expected. She owed me half of everything she owned. Because her name had been tied to my investments, too. Her eyes widened. "You planned this." I smiled. from the night I walked out of that dinner. Now, when they drive past the old house, it isn't theirs anymore. Every family gathering costs them, not me. They still sit at the same table, but the air is heavier now. No one laughs. My niece still doesn't understand what happened. She only knows the man she once mocked no longer sits with them. He sits above them. I don't call it revenge. I call it correction. Some lessons are taught with silence, some with signatures. And when my son asks why we don't visit anymore, I tell him, because we don't sit with people like that. And for the first time, he understands.